So, kind of a creepy story. Back in college, my dad had got us a place to share. Um, it was a creepy old house kind of thing. My brothers were upstairs, and I was actually about to get married to my ex wife. I was probably 22 years old, and we were in the basement of this creepy house. And I remember being down there, and I was staying there before we got married, and all that was down there was this bed, right? And I remember I just had the creepiest dream. I remember dozing off and not being asleep very long. And I remember being in a creepy house in the dream. It's kind of an old mansion like house. And I remember me looking to the right and to the left, and when I looked back center, there was this, not an old lady. She was more like middle aged, but she kind of looked really sad, and she didn't look too good. Kind of this, I don't know. She just looked just so unhappy, and all of a sudden, she got this eerie smile on her face, like like somebody gave her permission to do something. It's like she couldn't touch me. You know, in those stories of evil spirits? This really was like one of them, you know? Prevented from messing with me until now, and I had this experience. She started walking towards me, and I started walking back. If you could imagine like a camera, at that angle, just the camera pulling back, well, that was what this dream was. She started to pick up pace and come after me. But I stepped walking backwards, faster and faster, and as I was closing doors. Faster and faster. I was just going between rooms and rooms, closing doors behind me, and she was coming through them just as quickly until she caught up to me. I remember her coming in like where I was in the dream. I remember right at that moment waking up. Both my legs and my arms were raising off the bed, and I tried to yell, and I remember I couldn't talk. All that was coming out was muffled sounds, scared to death, like something had control over me. And all I could do was pray. I fervently, just incessantly prayed for the next, 30 seconds while I had no control over my arms or my mouth, and all that was coming out was muffling, so I had to do it in my head, right? And it finally subsided. And I started breathing really hard, and just oh my gosh, what just happened to me? Like a scary, freaky story. Oh my gosh. Oh, anyway. Yeah, that was when I was 22, right before I got married. That was nuts. I remember telling my ex-wife that, and she wanted to bless the house, so we had somebody come and say a prayer for us. I mean, it was nuts. That was so creepy. We didn't want to live there together. Fortunately, nothing happened after that, you know. But just one of those scary stories. There really wasn't anything before it. I don't know. Holy crap. Nothing's ever happened like that to me again, but oh, it still is in my head.